All
Okay.
right, thanks. Now we are recording everything that's gonna be shown in high quality and it will be included in the recording from this webinar. So Richard and Haley, it's yours again.
Brilliant. Thank you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to share my screen with you so you can see what I'm doing. And Richard and I are going to make a Prezi together so you can see the process of working collaboratively. So first things first, you need to sign up for a Prezi account, which is really easy and simple to do. And once you're logged in, it'll take you to this page here. And this is where it keeps all of your old Prezis. If I just scroll down, you can see some of my old ones. So we're going to go to New Prezi. And first thing you need to do is give it a quick title. And there is also an option to put in a quick description as well, but for now we're just going to leave it with a title. Okay. Seems to be working quite quickly at the moment. If you have got quite a lot going on your computer, it can run slightly slow. Okay, and the first option that we come up with is a list of templates. Now, most of these templates are for business use, but there are some personal ones on there as well, and they've got some really nice 3D ones too. So I'll just scroll down so you can see the kind of things that they've got. Okay, but for now we're going to stick with a blank one for today. So click on that and choose. And this takes you through to your basic editing screen. Okay, so in order to get started working with Richard, I need to invite him to come and edit this. So up in the top corner, see that little button with the people on? You just click on there and invite to edit. And this will give you a link. So I just need to copy this, go back to my Google Hangout, and send that link to Richard. Hopefully that should come through to him soon. Okay. And through that link, Richard can now come into my presentation and make any changes as we're going along. So in just a second or two, once he's come into the presentation, you'll see a little character pop up on the screen. And that will be Richard moving around the presentation. So there we go. Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay. So now we've gone back to our basic editing screen. And this Prezi that we're making today, Richard and I both have different jobs that we're going to work on. So Richard is going to be doing the frames and all of the text and the pathway, and I'm going to be putting some images and media in. So you'll see here, as Richard is moving around the screen, inputting his information, you'll see his little character moving around as he goes. So I'm going to start off by putting some images in. And this little bar across the top is basically your panel where you do all of your work. So I've clicked on images, and your two options are to do them from file or to pull them directly from Google Images. I've got a couple on my USB pen that I'm just going to find. Okay. It's just uploading my image now, as you can see. Okay, so in the middle of your image, you've got this little hand tool, and all you need to do is grab and move this around, and that is to move and that is to move your image. And this blue circle around here, if you grab this and either pull it outwards or inwards, it will resize your image. And these little like zebra lines, this is for tilting from side to side. So I've got a couple of images to put in. So I'm going to hand you back over to Richard, and he's just going to say a few words about our trade union that we work with. So I think Richard just needs to unmute his mic, if he can hear me.
I do need to unmute my mic. Hi there. Again. So our project is funded through the Wales Union Learning Fund. We are sponsored. We have a sponsor union, and this union, as I mentioned before, is called Unison. It's the largest public sector trade union in Britain, one of the largest unions in Europe. And we have membership within the NHS, our National Health Service, and local councils and municipalities. Project Builder just jumped in front of what I was writing, which is one of the things you have to be aware of. So local councils, we also have membership within private care homes. Again, Haley, you've done a big logo right in front of what I was
Sorry.
writing. And that's absolutely fine. And we also work in the charity and non-profit sector as well. And Catch Up Cymru is a non-profit care agency, and Catch Up Cymru are the forces of our project, and the company with which the inclusive partnership is involved. So I'm going to drop through around our sponsor section, and I'm going to hand you back to Haley now. I hope that's okay, Haley.
Yeah, thank you. I've just got one more image to input from my USB pen. So I'll just quickly pop that in. Hopefully it won't go right on top of what Rich is working on. Okay, so all the images that I've done so far have been directly from, as I say, my USB pen. But you do also have the option to pull them from Google Images. So again, if you just go back up to your pane at the top, Images from here. Now, if you're doing work on behalf of a company or an organization, you just need to bear in mind, as Richard said earlier, licenses for commercial use. But for now, just as an example, I'm just going to type in what I'm after, click search, and it'll come up with all my options just down the side. Then all I need to do is quickly scroll through until I find one that I'm happy with. Again, because it's pulling them straight through from Google, they can be a bit slow if you've got a lot going on your computer. So this is just downloading. And I think we've got quite a lot on the network today, so it's running slightly slow. I think we're just getting there. Brilliant. So I'm going to click OK for that one. Click it over here, resize, and just pop it exactly where I needed it. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is, rather than putting any more images in, I'm going to pop in a video. Now, all you need to do for this is you need to have your YouTube video open already. So you go to Media, and again, you can put them through from files. So if you've got a video on your USB pen or your computer, you can pull it directly from there. But I'm going to go YouTube. Okay, now I've got my video up here ready and waiting. So all I need to do is copy, oh, no, sorry. Sorry, I'll just bring that back up again. Just need to copy the link, go back into my Prezi, paste it in, and that'll insert your video. So again, just resize. Okay, so I think we're starting to get there. I'll just pull out so you can see what we've done so far. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert some shapes. I'm just going to put a quick couple of arrows in. Okay, and again, as I go closer, you've got the option to move them around, resize. Okay, so I'll just put one or two more arrows in, just so you can see the kind of things that you can do. We have a creaky window here. Just one more arrow, I think. Okay, and then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to change the theme of the presentation. So back again along your top bar into themes. Now you can pick any of these themes that have been pre-made, or you can make your own. But for now, I think we'll go for this one here. Okay, and you can see in the background it's changed all the colours and the text and the fonts. Now, one thing to bear in mind, when you change the theme, it changes the size of your text. So if you've put images next to text, it might have changed the font slightly, so just double check the spacing of them. And I think we are almost done. At the moment, I can see that Richard is working on the pathway. Now, the pathway is kind of like, you know, in a PowerPoint presentation, you move from slide to slide to slide. It's exactly the same idea. The pathway will determine exactly what your audience sees as you're scrolling through your presentation. So I think we are almost done. Richard, have you got much left to do? Richard, are you there? No.
Sorry, my mic's on mute, so you can do my clicks.
Sorry.
I'm just going to pull a big roll from the whole thing. And the first and the last stage in the pathway. Just hang on 1 second.
Are we done?
I tell you what. No. Almost there.
Yeah. I think I might.
It's just a little bit slow.
I think I might change that theme again. It doesn't look quite right. So we'll go for a different one instead. Okay. Richard, is that frame sent to the back? Sorry.
It isn't, and mine's very slowly.
I think we've got quite a lot going on our connection at the moment.
Yeah. I'm just looking for it at the minute.
And the good thing that you'll notice is as Richard's character is moving around the screen, you can't see exactly what he's working on until he's inputted his final information, because you can have up to 10 people working on a presentation at the same time. So if you had everybody editing and you could see everything they were doing, it might be a little bit overwhelming. But with the little characters just moving around, it means that you know the general area that they're working in. I think we're there, Richard.
We're not quite, sorry.
No, sorry.
There's just one slide I can't get to work. You just give me a second.
Yeah, of course.
It's better to get it right.
No, I'm still relatively new to Prezi. I've come to it in the last couple of months. And the thing that I found is that it's really intuitive. It's really easy to move around, and it kind of makes sense where the images are going to go and the buttons. And as Richard said, it's had a bit of a revamp lately. And I've got to say, I much prefer this new version. Okay. Yeah.
I can't get it to pick up the very last slide, which was an overview.
Okay, that's fine.
No, actually, sorry, that's not it. It is doing the overview on the first and the last.
Okay.
But here's what it isn't doing, is letting me put in. It's okay, I found the workaround. Give me 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or I am now done.
Brilliant. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to save. So I've got a small button up here, and then this blue button is to present. So it'll take you out of the editing mode and into the presentation mode. And these little arrows down the bottom, you just click to go through. So as you can see, this is our presentation that we've just quickly made. Okay, so Connecting Learners, the project that I work for, we're a Wolf-funded project. We've got a little image just to demonstrate that. And you can see what I was saying earlier about the overlap between the text and the images. You just have to be slightly aware of those things. Okay, and Wolf stands for Wales Union Learning Fund. Okay, and here's some more information about our sponsors. Unison's logo here that Richard was talking about earlier. Okay, some more information about our partners. Cartrefi Cymru there, they're our host organisation. It's just a close-up onto their logo. Okay, and our funders, the Welsh Government. This slightly hazy picture here is the one that we pulled through from Google Images. That's the Senedd down in Cardiff, our government buildings. A closer look there. Okay, and this is our project logo, so Connecting Learners logo. And here's some more information about the kind of things that we do in our project. So we offer learning opportunities in topics such as literacy, numeracy, basic ICT, and confidence and communication skills. So there's our Prezi that we've just made. So I think we are done. So I'll just do a final save on it. Press the little exit button here. And that should, if my computer is running well enough, take us back to the home page. Okay, and you have all your options here to share it, save a copy, download it to wherever you need it to be. Okay, so I'm just going to go back over to the Hangout and hand you back over to Richard.
Thanks, Peter. As the same Wales. So we've had some feedback on the presentation. One person in particular, Alan Thomas, has mentioned motion sickness problem, which would be really a bad point. It's okay to pan, zoom, and twist, even to pan, zoom, and twist at the same time, but doing it over and over again very quickly can give people a sense of nausea. Just keeping your content in scale and not having too much going on is really important. And also providing people with that overview can set that in context. It's kind of like when you've got motion on the horizon. If you can get perspective, then the sickness goes away.
Thank you, Richard and Haley. Tomáš Langer speaking again, moderating this webinar. That was an excellent example of how quickly you can produce in a collaborative environment something useful and nice looking. So thanks guys very much for this. Now we are going to proceed. To the second part of our webinar. So again, please let me share another window. So this is the presentation we have just seen, and let's move on to discussion. I know that there is a question posted under our YouTube stream, so let me check that. And I will I will read out Okay, I will read out the question. All right, so I can see one of the questions. Does it cost anything to use Prezi? Richard, can you reply to this question, please?
Okay, so there's to use the basic online version, including the online collaborative tool and the editing tool. It's free, so there's a free version, which will most users. For educational institutions, there is an upgraded license, which gives you more capacity, gives you some of personalization in the ability to put a logo in the corner of your presentation, etc. And there's also a pro version, which allows you to get into which can get
Okay, right now there's a connection speed problem. So just please, Richard, could you repeat the rest of your sentence?
Sorry. Okay. Yes, so the Pro tool, which has a cost associated to it, is I don't think it's ridiculously expensive. but what it does allow you is desktop program an editing tool, a presenting tool for Prezi, and many more features. Often when you go on the explore section of the Prezi website, see some of the really high-end presentations. The those those being produced with desktop tool. So I'm just clicking through on the Prezi website to get the prices for you. They're pretty easy. They're pretty quick to find. It's $4.92 or $59 annually for an Enjoy license, which you can also get an education license as well. And the Pro license is $13.25 a month or $159 annually. So, but there is the free most subscription or surprises license as well. So there's a license for all needs really.
All right, thank you very much. I might just add that if you work for a recognized educational institution, then it's possible to use Prezi in greater extent than normal free user, and the whole point is to have email address which domains belong to educational institution. So that's a simple trick that we all, I mean those who are teaching, can use. I would I would ask a second question that we got, and I will ask you for a quick response. It's from Paul Richardson, and the question is if it's possible to add a recorded audio commentary to a presentation in Prezi.
I have heard before. I think it's something that you need the offline tool to do. It is possible to use .gif files, flash animations, etc. In your presentations. So it's possible, and there are workarounds involving recording something through YouTube. But it would be nice to have direct audio booth import. The company is constantly updating and trying to add new features.
All right. Yeah, all right. The trick with YouTube, it's something that we use in our school as well. Simply upload your audio as a video in YouTube, and it works fine, no issue there. And the very last question for this part of our webinar, coming from Claire, can you add animations and background music to Prezi?
Again, using a flash animation, you can. When I've tried it, it seems to take a lot of memory and can really slow down the presentation. I think it's really something for somebody with a pro license with the offline Prezi desktop program. If you try to do online travel from the UK with 15 meg broadband in Bangor, it can crash the system.
All right, thanks very much. So that's all for this moment for Prezi, and thank you very much, Richard and Haley here in Prague. Thanks, and I'll switch to the rest or the second part of our webinar. So discussion is over at the moment for this bit, and I will share again our navigation through the webinar. And we are progressing to the second part, which is about Moodle learning management system that is freely available to whoever wants to install it on his or her server. And our topic is levels of online courses built in this inclusive environment. Actually, I keep the floor for myself at this point because I kick off this presentation and hand over to Dominic in a couple minutes. All right, so another switch of the screen. Let me share that with you. And here is the second presentation of today, made in the old-fashioned PowerPoint, as we could see a while ago, nevertheless still worth hearing, we hope. All right. The key message of our presentation, although we are going to see a few more slides, is basically this slide. It's like an onion, and we read it from the bottom to the top. There are several stages or levels of online courses that we identified when building over 3/10 of courses in past 2 years in our school. Many institutions are using Moodle in the download mode, which means that students are allowed to get into the place with the course and then download all the materials that teacher has put there. Well, it's fair. Nevertheless, there's a long way up to virtual community, which is basically a online inclusive environment, or you can call it a social network within Moodle, when teachers and learners are collaborating, communicating together, making comments on each other's work, and simply using this learning management system as a normal social network, which purpose is not to have fun at the first place, but to learn something and have fun on top. The levels that you see in the middle, so step-by-step walkthrough, that's kind of a syllabus that has full links to all the materials and some texts available for learning. And the third item, the third level, online work, offline meetings, that basically means that Moodle is used according to its name as a learning management system. That means that the interaction and the management of the course as such from the teacher is fully done online, so the communication about the tasks and assignments, grading, and communicating with students is done within Moodle. Basically, Moodle is everything a teacher needs to do all the teacher's stuff with his class. All right, so this is the beginning of the whole thing, and now let's have a look at the second concept of this presentation, and that is just find the ratio between face-to-face learning and distance learning, which is basically Moodle, that fits your needs. There is no point in developing a full virtual community for a course that doesn't need that. It costs time, which means money and a lot of effort. We can confirm that. Right in the beginning, you will save no time and no money by implementing e-learning environment. It's only about work and effort, and it pays off only after a couple of years. So just make sure that you pick the ratio that really fits your needs, especially when you can meet your students in the classroom and then communicate with them online only on the certain topics. We will show you 3 example courses which have different ratios between face-to-face learning and distance learning. First one is language learning. Second one is a typical lecturing course, Power, Money and Law, which is sort of introduction to the politology, economics and law. And the third one that is in a mode of full virtual community and including the outcome of social networks into Moodle is mobile journalism that we teach in our school as well. The presentation is organized in a way that I will show you some overview slide and then screenshots right from Moodle, moving from English to Power, Money and Law, and then handing over to Dominic to show his course, Mobile Journalism. English basically means that we are meeting together with students in classrooms and that they are getting their assignments partly online. As you can see, it has a basic structure of 12 to 13 weeks, so normal semester, and the interaction is based on the feedback given within the activity in Moodle itself, and of course, the feedback of how the learning was successful is in online tests built into Moodle. As you can see in Moodle, you can have news forums, you can publish your syllabus right in the Moodle, and it's downloadable for anyone who's interested, which should be everybody, of course. Students can upload their essays right into Moodle, and it can be graded on the interface, and student gets the grading into his or her email straight from Moodle after the send button is pushed by the teacher. These are the examples of online tests. They can do online tests as a homework to practice upfront, and then the final test is done in the PC lab, where students are filling the tests, and immediately they see the outcome of the test, how many points they got. It's all automated, and Moodle will give them the final grade, and teacher just signs the index. This is just an example of how a handout, which means material to be downloaded, can look like in the interface of Moodle. So this is just PDF to be saved, printed, and used in the class, but students have that upfront in Moodle. And our English teacher included the video, which you might recognize, which episode of what this is. And of course, the final test online, just as I described a while ago. That's English, and now let's move on to the second course. That's actually mine. So the introduction to politology, economics, and law. This course is shifted more to distance learning in a sense that despite we meet regularly every week for 4 hours in our lectures, students have quite a few works to do online. The interface as a learning management system is fully developed, which means all the grading, all the tasks, overview of how students is progressing is available online anytime to students and to teachers. Actually, we are teaching this course in 3 people, and there is basically no further communication needed between us, as we can see what the other teachers are doing, if they graded the homework they said or not. We are posting information into forum, so I know what other teachers are communicating to students, if they are providing all the information needed, and all this interface is just within Moodle. What's important, I use online tests that are automatically graded as well, and data from these tests are available for further analysis. I will show that shortly. As you can see, the window itself is simply a study text with pictures and items to be downloaded. The course is built up right from the beginning. What are the aims and key messages of the course? What's expected time consumption for a student when he does all the work and reads everything in Moodle, which is important for students to plan their studium, and what are the key terms of the lesson. Again, this is a full scan of selected chapter from literature. So basically we are making the excerpts from books available to students online, and they don't have to buy that. Of course, you never can scan the full book, but excerpts are okay according to Czech law. And of course, we are providing a full reference to the book that was used, and they can use this citation in their further work. This is a simple way how students are registering their topics for essays. There is a forum, just a simple forum with each line of discussion meaning one topic, and students are just replying in forum, and that means that they register the topic and they will write the essay afterwards. The benefit is that they can ask questions about the essay right in the forum, and teachers can answer those questions publicly. So if somebody is writing the same topic, he or she can read what the questions for the topics were and what the replies were, and you don't have, as a teacher, to do it again with every single student separately. This is the grading overview. As you can see, there are not many A grades, only B's and C's, and unfortunately some F's as well. Nevertheless, this is available to all the teachers in the course. Every column means an assignment or a homework that students were supposed to do. Each homework is graded separately, and it all adds up to final grading in the course. And this is the data analysis that I promised a few seconds ago. Moodle can provide, which is the Gauss curve that you see in the middle, can provide the outcome of the automated tests, and you immediately see how students are doing in your course, if it's okay or not. And of course, you can simply download the outcome of the test into Excel and make a couple charts to visualize what's the outcome of your curve of your course. And that's pretty much it for the introduction of Moodle from my side. So now I'm handing over to Dominic, who will take you through his course of mobile journalism, and even we will switch to Moodle and show you things online if there is some time left. Okay, Dominic, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Tomáš. Welcome, everybody. Hello, my name is Dominik Fellner. I'm partly an English teacher here at school, and I also teach some internet stuff, as some of the students would put it. In that case, it's mobile journalism. This course was developed with the help of professional BBC journalist, and we're very proud of the course because it's really well done through. And I'm just teaching it, so I'm not praising myself here. Now, the point of the course, the reason why I'm showing you this is it's a fully internet-based course. We have never met actually with the students for the purpose of the course. Of course, we do meet on the corridors of the school, but not for this course. Now, the difference between the courses you've seen so far and this one is the virtual community. It has just one extra feature compared to Money, Power and Law, and that's Money, Power and Law course, and that's you need to set up communication at its highest standard, because communication, as we learned from the yesterday's webinar, is key. If you say something once, it doesn't mean it really gets through. So you need to set up the communication on a regular basis, on a very good standard, and make sure that it really works as a community. As you can see, this course provides complete e-learning support. There's no face-to-face meetings, just online. It has seven topics, and each topic covers a single aspect of mobile journalism. The point of the course was to allow the students to go outside with just their mobile phone or a small camera in their hand and still provide full or as close to full as possible journalist work and outcome. Now, this is an example of the course structure. Now, the point of the e-learning course where you don't meet with your students is you have to explain everything inside the course. If you don't give students explanations and detailed titles and kind of friendly word, it just feels like you come into the classroom, a real classroom, and you put some books on the table and leave. And the students rightfully ask, what are we supposed to do with these? Read them, scan them, study a chapter, two, or is it just, what to do with that? They don't know. So you can see a lot of text. Well, the text that actually doesn't look like a link, that's simulation of what you would otherwise said in a real face-to-face teaching. Welcome to the classroom. Here is a paper that I would like you to read quickly. Just scan it through and try to pick up the keywords, for example. So you just guide the students minute from minute through the test. That's what Tomáš was talking about. It takes excuse my French, but hell of a lot of time, really. And we calculated, just for your information, that one lesson for students to study takes at least 1 hour, sorry, of students studying takes at least 5 hours of preparation. Actually, at least. That's when you have it all structured in your mind already. If you don't, then it takes more, of course. And just restructuring your normal face-to-face lessons to online courses, which necessarily needs to be different, it also takes some time and lots of feedback and help from your colleagues, um, and includes criticism, positive criticism if necessary, if possible. Sorry, not necessarily positive criticism, and that's tough as well. So it's just I just opened the door to our last 2 or 3 years of what we are doing, really. So they are studying materials. There are lots of questionnaires to make sure that the students got the point. The questionnaires are not marked. They could be, but usually we don't mark them. It's just a little feedback that you would otherwise get from the students by just looking at their faces. Are they just blank staring at you, meaning, excuse me, no, I didn't get anything? Or are they nodding happily, smiling, possibly? That's what the questionnaire is for. Now, then there we have a common knowledge base. That's a great feature, and that actually opens up an collaborative environment where students put their inputs. They put their actually anything they want, because it's a database. So you could create as many fields as you want for pictures, videos, text, comments, essays, articles, that they can see each other's work and compare, and then create one big database that they can all use. The teacher can approve of the database. So before I approve, the students can't see it, meaning the students can't put in the students can't see other students' material which is not correct. When I approve, the other students can see it, which means I have a control whether, because this is supposed to be a peer-to-peer learning, right? Students learn from each other, and I just make sure that they're learning the proper stuff, not any rubbish, or downloaded, copied from Wikipedia, then I just say, no, 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 try to work better. And I don't allow that. I don't approve, and they can't see it. And of course, there has to be discussion. Now, discussion, which you may find like, of course, discussion, yes, that's an online feature that everybody uses, chat, Google Talk, etc. You would think that's not a problem at all. It is. The students, especially when they otherwise do meet at school, on the corridors in other classes, they have no reason to go into the discussion in Moodle. It's not cool. They don't have their Facebook friends there, so it's kind of another discussion that they need to attend to, instead of spending their time on Facebook or somewhere else. So you need to motivate them to actually join the discussion. That we found one of the most difficult tasks, to actually get them talking about the topic, when I want, or about the topic that I want them to speak about. And so far we found only one way. We make the discussions compulsory. Not exactly marked. They don't get any marks for clever, witty comments or lame comments, but their attendance is registered. If they don't participate, if they don't participate enough, if they just say then this activity is marked as not attended to, and they get slight penalty for that. It's a bit restrictive, I know, but well, the comments on YouTube are free for you to suggest better options, and we'll be really grateful if you could suggest better ones. Of course, we can outsource the discussion to Facebook, but then it doesn't stay inside Moodle. And staying inside Moodle means we can grade the activities, and all the grades are then incorporated into the final result table chart. Sorry, that we need. Now that's one of the pages that, coming back here, uh, some of the some of the things you can see, like studying materials here. Uh, Logically, if you have big, huge page full of letters, full of information, it would be kind of stupid to add an essay, for example, for students to read, or 2 or 3 pages copied from a book, and have them on the main page, because that would make the lesson very long, thus demotivating the students very much, because they would just open the lesson and say, "Oh, it's 7 pages. No way, I'm not reading that." And you can imagine, that would be everybody's approach. It's just too long. And as you can see, the environment now, you can't see everything on this page. Normally, what students see is on the left side. In Moodle, you would have lots of settings. On the right side, you would have a calendar and other settings and lots of. It's not pretty environment to look at, but you can put studying material through a link, and if you do that, you create another page in Moodle which doesn't have all that rubbish around. It's just pure page, clean, nice, neat page with text. It's a digital text, so it can include any digital content like videos, pictures, SlideShare, anything. But it's another separate page which students read from top to bottom without being disturbed, without actually being distracted by anything else. And here is an example. That's what it looks like. That's a page that actually informs them about content management systems and how to use them in mobile journalism. There are examples to follow, and there are study cases that they can click on and follow, which are, of course, somewhere on the internet, publicly accessible pages of professional media, like I don't know, BBC, CNN, etc., to follow. Some of them look like that. This is actually examples of items to discuss. And here are the questions, as you can see, right there. This is an example of the discussion that students may take. And if you want to participate, you just click. I don't know if you can see that. It's really small. Add a new discussion topic. They click and follow one of the questions that's there. So many times we are trying to give students choices, not just one thing to follow, but we try to give them choice to follow what they find interesting, if possible, because that's the motivation thing. Now, here is an example of a video, how to work with your video online. Actually, we don't have any students following that course now in this room, but this is a very good example of, now you're outside, you have just your smartphone maybe, and you want to take a very good video. Now, that sounds like a mission impossible, but with a few tips from professionals, and the tips are right here, you can try and you can improve. And there is a video which is considered a good practice video with some comments below, which I'm afraid you can't really read very well, but they are very good comments, I assure you. And they really tell you what to note in the video above. Like, try to note the sound quality, try to protect your microphone from wind, from the wind coming, etc., etc. So again, this is an example of how to make the teacher almost invisible, almost unnecessary to be part of the lesson. Now, of course, for the students in that particular course, we didn't have a final test because that would be kind of stupid. How would I grade them? How would I test their knowledge, whether they have become better online journalists or mobile journalists? So from the very beginning, they had a project in mind. I reminded them in every lesson, in every meeting, in every chat, every discussion forum, try to get closer and closer to a final project. And the project is lightly described on the top left part, and then there are some specific features that I want them to cover. If they don't, I will probably, be after them. Why haven't you done that? What about that thing? Why there isn't an audio report? How about Flickr? Yes. So there's the final project. Now let me switch to Moodle if I can. It may take a while, but that's quite all right. This is our Moodle. As you can see, I'm not sharing this. Sorry, my bad. Sharing it right now. There we go. Sorry, and I am teaching internet stuff here. I forget to share that. Okay, that happens. Thank you for understanding. Now, this is our Moodle web page. That's where students and teachers get at the very beginning. We took pains to put some icons in the very beginning, some quick access buttons for the students so that they don't need to navigate through. We actually replaced part of our information system with Moodle. It's a very good trick. It's just a secret we are sharing with you, really. You can get rid of the information system if you use Moodle correctly. So students not only get courses in Moodle, but also information about studies, information about library, the policy of school, etc., etc., etc. Now, moving to the courses, that's to the course that I want you to see, and that would be right there. That's the course I was talking about, and we need to wait a bit. Now, you may know about Moodle, but if you don't know, if Moodle is absolutely new for you, Moodle is not an application that runs somewhere on the internet. It's not like Prezi that runs on Prezi servers. Moodle actually runs in the server of your company. You have to install it. So it's not. You may argue, well, it's not this perfect this perfect it's not a perfect social environment because not everybody can join in, and you have to install it, etc., etc. Well, yeah, well, everybody can join in if you invite them, or you can have public courses, and it still simulates the social environment. Now, that's not the course. I'm terribly sorry. Sorry, there we go. This is it. Sorry, this is it. Now, we are using the mobile journalism course for another course, so the introduction is in Czech now, but that's the example of the course itself. So, there's a mobile journalism, breaking, social and mobile reporting. You open the page, and there is an extra page, as I told you before, where students can read the content. It's really slow, because, as you know, we are now using quite a lot of connection speed. And although this is within our school, we still limit it. There you go. Plain text, simple, students read, go, yes, they go back and they continue in the course. Now you can have lots of media inserted in the course, just like here. Lots of media or lots of multimedia material inserted in a course. And still waiting, sorry. As you can see, there's a lot of multimedia content right there, lots of screenshots, but we'll have to wait for them to upload. Now, this is how a sort of show me thing can work. Logically, this you would expect to do in the classroom with the students. All the students would open their computers, they will open the program, the software, and they'll start, toying around, and the teacher would walk around and help them, and etc. You can, if you want, you can simulate that by uploading the screenshots, creating an instructional video, and inserting all of it within Moodle. Moodle can handle almost everything. Everything that gives you the chance to embed, everything that's embeddable can be embedded in Moodle. Just like these screenshots of how to use Audacity, one of the, I think, coolest freeware sound editing programs, etc., etc. You can insert videos, you can insert Prezi, just to get into the right connection with the previous presentation. But I decided not to show you these things because we would probably wait for a long, long time and it wouldn't run smoothly. So as you can see, that's how a lesson of using sound editing system may look like. That's what it may look like. Okay, I think that's all. I think our time is running out, and that would really be all for now. I'll hand the microphone back to Thomas for the final word. Thank you very much.
And it's me again. Greetings to everybody who's listening to us. Let's close our session. Let's move forward. So thank you very much, Dominic, for showing us how Moodle actually is built up and how content can look like. And I take the liberty as a moderator not to do discussion in this webinar as we are slightly late for 20 minutes already, and we will reply to all the questions online in the YouTube comment stream, so don't worry, all your questions will be answered shortly. Nevertheless, we won't do it in this webinar. So thank you very much for attending. I hope it was a worthwhile experience to share your time with us, and we will publish in some days or few weeks the high definition recording of this webinar. And we would be really grateful if you could fill our feedback form, which you can find just below the link that you used right in the beginning, and give us feedback on how it went, what you expected, and if you are satisfied with the content and the quality of the recording. So goodbye to everybody. Thanks for attending, and see you somewhere, either physically or online again. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. That's it. All right. We made it. Recording worked. Sound worked. I think we are improving. So I believe that there is some refreshment just across as yesterday. So please, something to drink and to eat. And I would ask, let's meet again really in 15 minutes, but sharp. Is it just about enough for you or not? Okay, we'll see. There's some buffer. Not a great, not there is some buffer. So please have a refreshment, and then we'll continue in 15 minutes sharp with the preparation of Stuttgart meeting.
Mandatory. How long have you been using Moodle in your school? Quite a few organizations are currently switching from version 1 point something to 2 point. Have you made this move yet? If so, do you have any advice about this? You are about to do this. And Jose Carlos Alves, that's our guy. What is the version of Moodle?
Barbana. Už trojku zdám. I Roman Marečník se nazývá.
No, já už tam odpovídám, ty to tam
Jo, teď už tady píšu.
Aha. Jo, tak dobře, tak já
Já nevím, nevidím tady nic.
se bojím, že už to nestihnu zastavit. Už to tam je. Když klikneš na více, tady, jestli se to vůbec
Já nejsem.
Když mi se ukazuje, že jo, když mi to vidí 4 seconds ago, což není prostě nedokážu. Zase tam nevidím takové, jako jsem refreshnul.
Že by to nebylo až tak úplně kolaborativní. Ale Dominiku, čas je jenom nějaký, takže... Jo, tady už je vidět, že jsi odpověděl. Ale není tady vidět, na co jsi odpověděl.
Myslím si, že no, to je zase se bude ptát víc lidí, co to je, že dva lidi se tam ptali, aspoň co já tady mám. What is the version of your Moodle?
Jo, tady já už to vidím.
Ty na devítky něco. No, to jsem to napsal. Máme určitý čas. Promiň.
Já myslím, že tohle bylo dobrý, Dominiku.
Tak to je jenom jestli máš nějaký konkrétní pokyn.
Ale má to jde kdyby měli za 20 minut učit, takže...
Jasně.
Jo. Takže...
Budeš učit kde? Nedavic před varán i danče dospět na prouce. Dobrý. Počtěné. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Co se dá dělat? Já jsem počítal s tím, že budeme tam dva v uvozovkách dospělí, který jako si když tak rozdělíme do dvou tramvají, že jo? Protože to se do jedné prostě nevejdeme dál.
Takhle, jako, jestli to teď, zvládneš jako na ty 12 jako a kousek před, tak asi to bylo trochu lepší, než představit Dominika a bude to takový jako jenom prostě
Ale
sebe dohromady s guidem.
ale půjde to. Ta-da. Oh, just get lost. Okay, sorry. um,
Do you know where the application form is for our project, where we have the work program and everything? It should be on.
you mean, oh, that application form, yes. I'll have a look. And if it's not there, I'll just give you mine one. It's not a file. It has to be a PDF, right? So I'll just filter all the PDF files. That's the final one, right? I don't know if we can open it online. I don't think so because it's the electronic form. Yeah, okay. Can't be. So I'll just download it and open it as and open it in the computer. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm taking up later. Okay, no, it's not. Ne, oba klíče. What's wrong? It may take a while. It always takes a while because it's electronic. There we go. Then it's all yours. Please.
You're still recording it.